Hello. Hello. Cheers. Good morning. Hello. My name's Brendan. I like warm, sunny walks on the beach, yoga, kung fu, breathing, movement, and crypto. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to my live stream. What's up? What's up? What's up? Smash the like, guys. Smash the subscribe button. Hit that bell. Tell me what's going on. What up with you? What up, dog? What up, dog? What up? Cheers. Hello. Hello. How are you guys today? Another beautiful day to be diving through the info. It's Saturday, the 15th of December. Are we there? Are we there yet? Hello, Papa. Are we there yet? Hello, hello. What's up, guys? How's it going? Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining the stream. What's going on, everybody? Smash the appreciation bell. Smash the like button. Yo, hello, hello, fam. What's going on, guys? Good to be here. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to life. Welcome to the day. How are you feeling today? What's happening out there? Tell me what's going on with you. You put a majority in at 25 cents. That sounds like a good plan, dude. That sounds like a good plan. Anybody not around yesterday? We have some cool stuff. We have the, oh man, you know what? We were going to do the Ledger giveaway today, and I didn't announce it. I forgot. Maybe we should do it tomorrow. I know. Shh. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. What up? What up? Oh, we're doing another thing. We're doing the 100 XRP giveaway with the new merch. We got new merch on the Twitter. You can go check it out. Also, there's a link in the description for new merch. Get, you know, your fresh threads that look real nice. What else did we talk about yesterday? There were some things we were mentioning. How low will it go? How low will XRP go? That's a good question. How low do you guys think it'll go? And really, how low will Bitcoin go is the question. How low will Bitcoin go? How much further can Bitcoin go down before utility comes into XRP, before people start using XRP, before the partners jump on? It's a bunch of hoopalata out here, just doing whatever it does. Let's look at what you guys are talking about. Cheers. Good morning. What's up? What's up? The gig. Hello, Corey Ziegelman, my man. What's up, Jalen? Kryptonian. Hello, hello, Sambat, We Fly, Tim Gash, woo, woo, woo. What's up? Good morning, everyone. We Fly High. What's up, NH? Hello, hello, Larry, Juan, guys. Thanks for joining. What's up, Sophie? Nate W. Hello, cheers, all. Hello, anyone got any of them 25-cent Zerpers? Hello, Diane. Hello, Bill Gould. Hey, what's up, Bill Gould? Light Yagimi. Yo, Light, you think I should change my profile photo? I just saw your comment, dude. What do you think? Yeah. You just woke up from a coma? And you're gonna go check your blockfolio? Whew. Okay, get ready. Get ready, brah. Get ready. Waiting on Coinbase to add funds. Yeah, Coinbase takes forever. That's the problem. If you don't have money in Coinbase already and you just like bought and you're like waiting for that week transfer, that like month-long transfer they do, that's challenging. That's really challenging. I get it. It's hard to wait. It's hard to wait that out. What's going on out here in the mountains? We're just hanging out in the mountains today. Fresh, clean air in my lungs. Oh, I love these fresh, cool mornings. They're so nice. It's actually a beautiful day in Austin. It's a beautiful day out here. Got some sun. There's a little bit of sun. I just went out and got a little sun for myself. Sun just kind of feels good. You know, it just makes you feel good. Go get some sun if you haven't gotten any recently. If you haven't gotten any today or this week, enjoy that sun. Get out there and enjoy it. Did a little movement. Did a little bit of breathing and movement, you know, yesterday. Went to the gym. That was good. Got some movement in. Got some breathing in. We did a little bit of a vlog style video that we put together, and then I just didn't like it. I was like, this video sucks. I might put it up on the channel anyway. The channel's just like all over the place, isn't it? Like vlogs, crypto streams, workout stuff. What else can we do? Game streams? Like what else can we throw in there? Anything. Anything and everything. Anything and everything. So there's some announcements in the XRP community. We love Wheats's Tipbot so much. I thought we should at least give a shout out to Wheats. And then there was this cool little drawing. I guess someone Tora Chan put this together. Congratulations to Wheats. You guys can't see anything. You guys still can't see anything. You guys still can't see anything. Oh yeah, there's the screensaver for the crypto wrap. The XRP wrap. So bad it's good. So good it's bad. Congratulations to Wheats and his baby, his family. Cheers. That's awesome. He's such a big member of the community. That's really great that we all offered him so much support. The XRP community looking strong out here. And that's what this tweet was about, actually. Dr. T calling out people who are saying that it's full of bots. He said, I challenge anyone to recreate what just happened with a bot. I dare you. I dare you to recreate what just happened with billions of money and bots. It can't happen. You can't fake this. You can't ever fake this support, this real community love. And Hammer Toe Matt Hamilton was retweeting that image, saying, he said he's seen claims that XRP community is a bunch of bots in attempts to dehumanize or legitimize their attacks. But we can see here the fruits of inclusion and the bridge building of both. So looking at this community really kind of pulling together and being stronger than the attacks thrown at it. I saw some articles this morning that I was looking at talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum and the SEC decision and what it would mean, you know, with how they're classifying the decentralization of these and what that means. You know, there's where is it? I was looking through this article. You guys can't really see it. Down here, it's talking about the Bitcoin today is not really something they can classify as security because of the operational functions. It seems to be decentralized enough from its inception that they could not apply a security standard to it. Also, the Ether, they decided to say Ether, even though the Ethereum network did have a fundraising, an ICO-ish setup, they said that now it's reached enough of a point of decentralization that they can say, you know what? It's also not able to be a security. And so that is a big thing. That's a really big thing. And this is why we're always talking about XRP's decentralization. Whoa. Whoa. Robert Lee, so good to see you, my man. Thank you so much, dude. I just tried to get the sound for the notification. Bling, 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 bling. Whoa. Thank you so much, Robert. So good to see you, dude. Cheers. I really appreciate it. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the support. Ah, man, you know what? We got to hit a honky for you. We got to hit some hotkeys for this monumentous event. What's the hotkey we like? I think I like this one. I think I like this KFN one. You guys ever heard of that XRP?
No. Not to. Hey, did you guys hear about that new magical digital asset called XRP?
A little bit off. I think it's a little bit off there. It looked off on my screen. It looked a little bit glitchy. It didn't sync up quite right. Hotkey got stuck. Hotkey got stuck. Man, thank you so much for the support. Rob Lee, I really appreciate it, dude. Cheers. 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 I really appreciate it. So this is something that we can see on the sec.gov. This is sec.gov talking about, you know what? This is how we can't basically call Bitcoin a security. And Bitcoin and Ethereum both got, you know, pushed to the not security term because of decentralization. This is why we talk about decentralization often in regards to the XRP ledger. And I think that that's something we can, again, recognize that even if they don't have it listed here as one of the ones that they're giving a pass on, I have strong feelings that they know it's not a security. We can see it's not a security. Really looking at the decentralization of the ledger, such amazing stuff to really see the way they built the ledger is so specifically, you know, useful, and it's really unique in the way it achieves decentralization because the UNL, like, you can choose your own node list, and we can go into the technicalities of that, but it's just different. It's a different conversation. And I think it's really honestly one of those things that, it's one of those things that just, you got to understand that people are still learning how to even have a conversation about this stuff. So it's going to be hard for them to be able to be part of this, you know, understanding why, you know, XRP is decentralized if people are, you know, still telling them that it's centralized because of whatever opinion they have. And there was actually a video that we saw where someone was talking about XRP being centralized and XRP being able to freeze, or Ripple being able to freeze accounts on XRPL. And we were like, that's crazy. We were like, that's crazy. Let's call that out. And then you guys said that person actually pulled their video, or they addressed it themselves. So you guys are so knowledgeable. You guys are so on top of it. I was like, that's amazing. Cheers. Cheers. That's amazing. Thank you so much again, Robert Lee. I really appreciate that donation, that contribution, man. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Guys, Another big thing, another really big thing that I saw was this article, and that's kind of the title of the video, is talking about, could Ripple XRP pull away from the rest of crypto? And this is something that we've been talking about for months, actually. This is something that we've speculated about for months, thinking, how can XRP achieve dominance? How will XRP achieve dominance? This is one of those things that is kind of like a, I want to say it's laughed at in some parties, but we know it's true. We know it's real. We know it's real because we can see the support lines. We can see the how many Satoshis. Oh yeah. Also, the Circle coin went live today. So XRP to the USDC pairing went live on Binance today. That's something that is up in Binance right now. I was just looking at this and I couldn't really see if the pairing's part of, like, did they just replace Tether? Did they replace Tether with the Circle stablecoin? I don't really know. That's hard to say. But if you go look at the BTC to XRP pairing, BTC to XRP pairing, still hovering around 9,000 Satoshis. So we still are sitting around 9,000 Satoshis as the rest of the market's kind of up and down. XRP is making these gains inside on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's down to 32.44 today. XRP's at 28 cents. Ooh, that 28 cents is gold. 28 cent gold. Ethereum 8.7. Tether's at $1. Of course, it's $1. It's supposed to be $1. Stellar's at 9 cents. EOS 183. Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin, Bitcoin SV, all those down the list. XRP holding spot number 2, making gains on Bitcoin, pushing up towards that 9,000 Satoshi level. And then this article that I was just looking at is talking about how 2019 could be the year we see XRP, Ripple, pull away from the rest of crypto. And that's what we call XRP dominance. We talk about dominance as in dominating the rest of the crypto market. And normally people say, you know, Bitcoin's the main coin and any coin other than Bitcoin's an altcoin. I think the hopes of us achieving dominance would be that we'd be no longer an altcoin. We as in XRP. XRP would no longer be an altcoin. I think it'd be its own dominant crypto. And achieving dominance would look really good because it would kind of solidify and validate all the things we've been talking about for the last 6 months to a year about XRP achieving dominance over Bitcoin. It's going to happen. But in reality, what are their tells? What are they saying? Where's the information coming from? What are we really thinking here? So relative to the market, it's down just like the rest, down 90% from its all-time high. In the last 3 months, they say that XRP price is exactly where it was almost within the year. And that's true. So we noticed that inside the rest of the market, the rest of the coins are tanking maybe inside of the year. Some of them are down 50 to 60%, but XRP's holding very, very well and making gains. So we're talking about if it can achieve dominance over the rest of the market. Will it break away from the rest of the market? And what would that look like? What would that look like price-wise? If we're looking at XRP right now and it's holding at, 30 cents, 28 cents, Bitcoin's at 3,200, 3,300. What are we looking at for price for XRP? What would dominance look like? I think we said in that how low could it go video, we talked about that, the how low could it go? We said Bitcoin could drop and XRP could just hold at 30 cents. So if Bitcoin drops further, if Bitcoin goes to 2K and XRP holds at 30 cents, that's going to put us pretty close. It's going to put us pretty close to Bitcoin's position. What would that look like if Bitcoin plummeted further and XRP held at 30 cents? It could achieve dominance by holding at 30 cents. That could happen. It could also achieve dominance just by Bitcoin and XRP stabilizing, finding support, and then the actual use case, like the utility of XRP being, being utilized. Utility being utilized. Imagine that. Imagine that. And that's actually what that's what article was going through and saying, is that just because a token is a utility token does not mean it's not a security. So there's a degree of this evolving conversation. The Supreme Court still trying to acknowledge that they want to put security law in place on the tokens that do look like a security. If it looks like a duck and it floats like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. The reality is that they need to update this law. They need to update this regulatory categorization system, because they're saying that just because a digital asset is a utility token does not mean it's going to turn the asset into not a security. So they have to define this more specifically. And what that really means, I think, is it comes back down to decentralization, which is what we were talking about right here when it says, looking at Bitcoin today, the determining factor for their enterprise is the fact that, it's not easy to... there's no central authority in there. And so even if you want to say, well, Ripple Labs holds a certain amount of the coins in escrow, or Ripple, whatever people want to say about XRP and their relationship to Ripple, XRP is, again, just as equally decentralized, and also just as equally it's not permission to any specific party, right? Like, anybody can use it. That's why it's so great that we have Wietze here, who's a coder and a developer that knows how to utilize the ledger, and he has a whole video talking about how he utilized the ledger. So anybody can build on it. Anybody can put this together and make these enterprise solutions using XRP. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All right, I've been away for a minute from the comment thread. What's going on with you guys? What up? What up? Okay, FUD busted. Hello. They cannot freeze your XRP. Exactly. They cannot freeze it. People keep talking about XRP being centralized, or XRP being or Ripple able to freeze XRP in the ledger. That's impossible. It's impossible. The only way that works is if you basically have like let's say Wheats built another version of the tip bot that was like a send big tip to your friend bot. And let's say inside the tip bot, he made a freeze function, because that's how it would work. Inside of a program, like inside of a consumer application, above the XRP ledger's actual function, so above the XRP ledger's actual permissionless structure, you could build something on top of that does offer the ability to freeze accounts. But that's the application built on top of the actual ledger. So the actual ledger is not in any way able to be frozen. There's no way to freeze it. There's no way to freeze it, okay? So that's a great question. Good question. Thank you so much. Another good question, I don't even know if you're in here, but Ticket to the Moon sent me a question this morning on Twitter, and let me pull it up and make sure I get it right. But he sent me a question. And if you guys want, you can just throw questions in my comment box right here, or you can just throw questions at me at Twitter, and I'll do my best. Oh, this is such a great question too. It's such a good job. Oh, I didn't even respond. I didn't even respond to him. I just sent the response. All right. Good morning. Can we discuss Xpool sometime soon? I'm really worried about us getting locked out of the private financial institution chains. I'm wondering how this works. Thank you so much for your answer. Thank you so much for sending this question. I really appreciate it. And yo, what's up? Let's answer it. So he's talking about the Xpool, and if there's a possibility that financial institutions could be using private chains or private corridors for their exchanges, what would that look like for the price of XRP? And then also he said, if R3 Corda is closed environment, what's stopping them from arbitrarily assigning any value to XRP? And these are great questions. So these are really good questions, because we talk about this often. What is stopping someone from moving towards using a private database? Like if they wanted to create a private database to use the same functions as XRP ledger, but to have more control, or what would be the point of XRP if they had that access? And there's also the whole Xpool question about the interoperability of being able to settle with whatever they want, or the liquidity coming from whatever they want. Those are big questions, and I think that, again, we can see that XRP price is not at all just paired to the use of the whole ecosystem. We can see that often. We can see like XRP as a specific use case inside the ecosystem, but it doesn't necessarily have, it's not going to be utilized by everything in the ecosystem, right? So like if you're a bank on RippleNet and you're using Xcurrent, you're not using XRapid unless you're going to use Xcurrent with multi-hop, and then it uses XRapid, which uses XRP. Or let's say you're part of the liquidity solution for Xpool and you want to, source liquidity through the ILP, you might be sourcing liquidity from not XRP, because that's what the ILP is. It's an interledger protocol. And so if there's an interoperability function inside, if there's an interoperability function inside of the ledger and the access they have to the different funds, then they could choose to use whatever they want. And that's a great question. The thing that makes us support XRP, the reason that we keep talking about why XRP is going to be beneficial to those ecosystems and why XRP is beneficial to everything involved, is because of the efficiency of the ledger, because it's cost efficient, it's a microtransactional efficient. And if you look at the the interviews with Andreas Antonopoulos are some of my favorite, where he talks about like, how is this going to work? In fact, Andreas Antonopoulos was one of the first Bitcoin maximalists to come out and say XRP is going to achieve dominance. He said it. He said it in one of his live talks one day. He was just like, yeah, XRP is going to achieve dominance because they're doing it so well, because it's working so well. He recognizes that there's efficiency, there's cost efficiency to send microtransactions, but he also recognizes that there is a security flaw in private databases. And this is what he talks about. He talks about the private databases don't have the same security integrity long term when they're lagooned away from the rest of the world. When they're lagooned away from the wild, they lose their necessity to maintain security standards, which means that they basically have eventually fallen into a high risk corridor or a high risk enterprise, because they're going to be targeted. And if they're moving billions of dollars and they become a target, then that's bad. That's just bad. That's just bad. So you don't want to have a private database. You don't want to have a private database that could be utilized for a moment. Yeah, you're right. It could be effective for a moment. And in fact, that's probably what's happening right now, is as they're testing the ILP, as they're testing the XRP use, and as far as all the corridors, they're probably using private databases right now to facilitate these tests and facilitate the emerging infrastructure. But long term, they can't use them. Long term, they can't use them because they're just going to become too risky. That's a great question. That's a really good question. So yes, John says, Xpool is worrying me. They could set the price of XRP inside Xpool to a high price and not need to come to a retail market. So this is what people are speculating about, is that the price inside of Xpool, they're saying, might be inflated, or it might be different than the price that we have on the exchanges. And I think that would be, I'm not going to say impossible, because it's not impossible. There's arbitrage opportunities available, because that's a reality, that there's different prices in different markets. But I don't think it'd be that substantial. I don't think that they could inflate it that much and keep it lagooned away, unless it was a completely separate ledger, or it was a completely different function, or a different, a different ledger. Really, it had to be a different ledger, because that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Unless the coders that are putting it together, there's a chance. I was just reading something about Ryan Fugger this morning, and Ryan Fugger is like the original guy that kind of proposed Ripple consensus protocol and put it all together with OpenCoin and put it out there. And oh, hey, you guys can't see anything I can see. I just moved this screen, and I forgot that other title screen was there. Ryan Fugger said that originally he handed over the keys to Ripple because he was like, these guys are smarter than me. They kind of like came along and they had the same idea, like they knew what they wanted to do, and they knew the vision I wanted, and they had a better idea of how to do it. They had a better idea how to do it. So possibly, there's a lot of the technological questions. There's like a lot of nerdy stuff going on. Maybe there's something happening. I don't think that they have the ability to create artificial prices inside the ledger that again, it's hard to say exactly how this is all going to come together, but this is one of the reasons that they talk about the global metrics and the development of this global infrastructure and the financial markets all being tied together, because they kind of are trying to, I think, remove some of those lagooned markets and create that, you know, global liquidity. If again, the question that John and Ticket to the Moon were talking about is the Xpool interoperability and the ILP pairing, and if they can push a higher price inside Xpool to not let it come to the retail market. I'm not really sure 100% on what is possible for them if they were to create something like a private database that functions on top of XRP Ledger. That's possible, but again, if it's at all utilizing the XRP Ledger, then it does tend to come back to the same conversation that we are looking at those two banks, what is it, Saudi Arabia and UAE, talking about developing their own virtual currencies for this use case. So if you're looking at CBDCs or central bank digital currencies, if they're built on their own ledger, that's fine. It's not going to have any relation to XRP at all. But if they're building these CBDCs, like how I built my KFN coin on XRP Ledger, it's not really its own coin. It's really just a trust issuance, and I created trust lines, and then other people that if they want to trust me, we can exchange this coin. The reason that works is because it's basically like a colored XRP coin. It basically means that I am sending a coin that's not XRP, but it costs me XRP to send it, and it uses the XRP ledger. And I'm pretty sure that my coin, if you see it in the charts, it shows volume as an XRP volume. It doesn't show KFN volume. It shows XRP volume. And I think if you were to develop it out, and maybe if you knew how to code it and put it together, you could show specific volume for your own CBDCs as well. So you could have your own central bank digital currencies, their own volume, what it shows in their relation to their, you know, gates, but that would still be built on top of XRP. It'd be built on top of the XRP ledger. So if you think about the XRP ledger as this base, it's like this base foundational layer of information and exchange and security. We call it a blockchain. It's a distributed ledger system. If it's built on top of that, it's going to use XRP. It's going to use their volume and their, you know, costs, their sins. So like it'll burn XRP to use it. So it's hard to say. Maybe it won't be like the exact, you know, volume that you're expecting because of they're using their own CBDCs. Maybe it will be the volume you're expecting just because they're using CBDCs on the XRPL. Woo! It's tough. It's tough. A lot to take in. It's a lot to ask. It's a lot to think about. And again, this is something that's so big. It's such a big paradigm shift. Like when I'm downtown sometimes and I'm like walking around talking to people or looking at things, it's just, you know, pretending like I'm a normal person. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about how this is happening so fast, and most people aren't even part of the conversation. You know, a lot of people probably are going to just be happily, you know, using whatever the newest app is on their phone, you know, like whatever the newest app is, they're going to check it out and they're going to just use whatever is the new service that's marketed to them. So there might not be a point that people are even talking about XRP like we are, unless they become coders, unless they become crypto investors, unless they become developers, or unless they're looking at offering enterprise solutions and they realize like, wow, maybe I should be looking at building on XRP. Yeah, that was a good question, and that's a lot to take in. That's a lot to take in. They cannot freeze it. Let's catch up with you guys. What's going on? All good things take time, says Corey. Yo, at work. What's up, Crypto SB? How's it going, man? Keeping us all up to date. Yeah, thanks for all you do, Crypto SB. I appreciate you. What's up? XRP, BTC down 55% from all-time high. Very impressive. Yeah, so the fact that XRP, the BTC XRP pairing is at 9,000 Satoshis is really strong. That's one of the things that we talk about often now, just thinking about XRP making gains on Bitcoin. And, you know, some of you guys, I see some of you guys in the chat talking about how you wish XRP would stay low because you want it to get more. You want to get more. Of course you want to get more. Of course you want to get more. That's because it's 28 cents. It's 28 cents. Who wouldn't want to get more? So yeah, right now, XRP to the USD Tether pairing, it's at 28 cents right now. Remember when it was 25 cents and we were all like, oh no, we missed 25 cents and it came back up? Remember how fast it came from 25 cents to like 75 cents? How fast was that? Like a week? A day? It was like a day, I think. Do you guys remember that day? I do. I was fishing. I was in the middle of a lake and I was like, pulled out my phone. I was like, what just happened? Oh my goodness. I'm like looking through articles like, what is going on? It's so funny how we have all these articles coming out. Like people talk about XRP, people talking about these new corridors. You're like, oh, we're looking at this SEC article. Oh, we're looking at this 2019 could be the year of XRP. And it's all really, we're discussing this stuff preemptively. And then when a run like that happens, like when it happens and the volume's kicked in and like the price is shooting up, everyone's kind of like looking around, like what just happened? Like people are kind of like searching Google, like what's going on with XRP, or like they're searching, somewhere, searching Twitter or YouTube, like what's happened today with XRP. And so you can see that it's going to happen, and we're going to be reacting to it more than we'll be able to anticipate and prepare for that exact moment. So that's something to think about. Something to think about. A review of IRS reporting for cryptocurrency transactions in 2018 would be helpful, says Larry. Oh, thanks for subbing, Light Yagimi. What's going on? I buy jewelry from a guy who mails physical shares and freaking out because he never holds them. Crypto's way better. That's what Light Yagimi says. Thanks so much for chiming in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Who is this hexagon? Where have they come from? And why now? What news do you believe is ultimately needed to create positive directional gains in XRP? I think a lot of people always look at the price. So Poopy Tits asked, what do we believe is waiting to happen? So what's the catalyst that we're waiting on? And we know that we're looking at the regulators and custodial services are the big catalysts that we're kind of waiting for clarity on. But also looking at the price, the price is down 90%. It's so paradoxical how people might have been talking all year about how they wish XRP was 28 cents so they could buy it. I wish Bitcoin was 3,100, I'd buy some. And then when it is 3,100, no one's buying it. Or the few that are, they're not as public about it. Or maybe that they are. Maybe they are public about it and just not as many people are as excited. So it's very paradoxically counterintuitive. When the price is going up, more people will be buying it. As the price, more people were buying XRP last year at $3 as it broke its all-time high than they are right now at 28 cents. And that's just one of those things that it highlights why, the rich keep getting richer. And that's one of the things that is happening right now. The market's under massive manipulation. There's not any clarity. There's whales are having fun with the volume. There's partners being brought on, but no one's using it yet. So there's just a lot of people working the system, trying to like game the system in a sense. So what is it that we're waiting on? Unfortunately, we're waiting on a huge slew of things, like a huge mess of clarity for regulators, custodial services for other investors that want to have the assurance of insurance around their crypto assets. And then also looking at the price. You could say a lot of those institutional investors that are waiting for custodial services are not going to be excited about buying it higher. They'll probably buy it cheaper. But most consumer investors, like most retail investors, like the ones that we were seeing enter the market last year at this time, they were coming to the market because the price was shooting up. And so as much as you'd think they'd want to buy it when it's down, they're not. They're not. So that's a good question. Hey, KFN, I have a question. Since XLM is an XRP fork, do you think they might have a special function relationship? Whale Alert is all about XRP and XLM recently. I think that XLM is unique because they are like the bastard child of XRP, and XRP has such a strong ecosystem and such a strong, they have a strong team. They have a strong community. They have so much going for them. I think that the bastard child of XRP is just going to do well. It's just XLM is just kind of like a weird fork, a weird bastard fork. It's like, oh, we want to do what XRP can do, but we don't want to say we're a banker coin. We want to say we're not a banker coin, which I don't know. That just seems like a very generalized term to like worry about bandwagoning behind, or to worry about categorizing yourself as. I think they both actually have they both have a lot of history, I would say, history and animosity between them. So there's a possibility that they are kind of competitive in a sense. But we've also looked at in some articles, we've talked about how there might be an incentive for them to work together, for them to be part of the same team if they want to look at innovating and taking on a new market. That usually is beneficial for them to work together to acquire the new the market shares or the new to acquire partners for their innovation. So that's a possibility that even if they're competing, they're kind of working together. They're similar enough to where they people that maybe don't want to support XRP are buying XLM. I know a lot of people that that are into crypto that don't like XRP and they like XLM. They like XLM and Monero and Dash, a couple of those. Yeah, they're swimming together. I'm going to try to catch up with some of your comments, and then we're going to jump over to the next article. John Doe is asking, hey, I don't think they need a private ledger for the price to change for them. They just need to agree to a price of XRP inside the preferred liquidity providers for banks. If they're that's what I'm saying though, is if they're just gonna use the preferred liquidity providers and exchanges, like if you're going like Shane Ellis style, where you're talking like oh, they're gonna inflate the price because of the buy sell walls and the exchanges, and they're gonna hold the price above a certain point. If that's what you're talking about, I don't see how they could exclude the exchanges that we're part of, because some of those exchanges are the same exchanges, like the same exchanges that they're offering the banks to use is the ones that we have access to. So I think it'd be the same price for us as it would be for them. Thank you, man. Thanks for checking out that the Nano S video. I'm glad I got it to work. I'm glad I could put that together for you guys. It was definitely a video that I did take the time to make sure, like when I watched it back or when I did it, that it would be useful, that it'd actually work, and that you guys could use it. I tried my best to cover all the specifics about just using the XRP app on the Ledger Nano. We didn't talk about any other apps. We didn't talk about how the Ledger Nano is actually just control of your private keys, so that XRP never leaves the Ledger. It's just you taking control of it. We didn't talk about any of those things. We will talk about those things. We'll put up a video talking more about that. I think we have a Ledger review video, Ledger review, breakdown, and why. Because I keep getting people messaging me that said, yo, I think I'm just going to use a USB thumb drive for my XRP. And I thought, well, that's your choice, but let me just say, here, guy, that sounds dangerous. You're welcome, dude. Thank you so much for checking it out. What's up? Hey, thank you guys so much for joining the stream. So good to see you guys. What's up? What's up? It's Christmas discount. Christmas discount time. It's XRP Christmas. The XRP Christmas, still with BitBank holding at 22% of the trade volume, ZB at 20%. So taking over the Binance, the top two, ZB and BitBank. The Ledger trade volume is down. Ledger payment volume's down. Nothing too crazy happening there. And the and the Twitter update that I just saw Sam put this up. The famed R3 wallet, possibly. Is it the famed R3 XRP wallet that's getting all these XRP right now? So piles of XRP coming into this one account. Let's see. Here's one of the tweets he put up. 5 million. Just a chill 5 milli XRP. Hey, can you please just could you guys send some to me? Send some to me. What's up? Kung Fu, can you see Amazon Go RFID chips using XRP in the future cashless society? Neil Stanton, what is up? How are you, man? Let's see. Can I see Amazon Go RFID chips using XRP in the future? In the past, I would say I imagine almost a lot of things being on the XRP ledger, but not necessarily like on them as much as just being utilized by benefiting their own commerce or their own system by using what XRP is, which is a big, open, permissionless, distributed ledger. So what would be the benefit of that? Like, I always like to think of like, why? So let's think, why would Amazon want to put the RFID chips on XRP? And I'm not saying that they would or wouldn't. I'm not saying it's a good or bad idea. I'm just asking, what would be the benefit of that for them? And if you can think that there's a benefit, if you can think that there's a solution that if Amazon is finding a solution that is effective, efficient, and possibly saves them money to use a distributed ledger tech, then would they do it? Yes, I think so. I think 100% they would. I think that's where a lot of everything's headed right now, is that we're recognizing that for a long time we've had too much trust in single point failure authorities. And I think that this is a conversation and a paradigm shift that's going to take possibly years to manifest. We are going towards this cashless society for sure. Cashless society's in. That's the new rage. Guys, it's the new hot topic. Cashless society. But will they use the XRP ledger to put information for RFID chips from Amazon Go? Possibly. They could use XRP ledger for a lot of stuff. Anybody can. And that's what's kind of crazy about it. And anybody can, spin up a node and start, choosing their own UNL and picking, what nodes they trust. They could even go as far as suggesting code changes, creating their own UNL and forking. They could go that far. And again, that would be maybe too far. It's just too far. Too far. Come back. Dial it in. Dial it in. So yeah, XRP in the future with RFID chip use. I know that we saw XRP is like one of the first. I think XRP has a patent to use some type of chip. I think that's already put together. I think they have that out there. So yeah, XRP is definitely useful for anything that could be solved with a distributed ledger system. And again, there's discussions going on about why distributed ledger systems versus private databases. Why would I want a distributed ledger system versus a private database? Is there a point to maybe using a private database sometimes over a distributed ledger? Is there a point that you would say, you know what? I don't know about if I use this distributed ledger or not. Maybe I'll use a private database. So good question, though. Very good question. I would say, just generalized, yes. I would say Amazon Go could use XRP Ledger for a lot of things. Let's hit the hotkeys. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. 100 people in the stream. What's up? Smash that like button. Problem with the thumb drive is your private keys are exposed. Yeah. Thank you for chiming in, MaxX. And this is something I wanted to talk about in the Ledger video, where I just kind of did a Ledger review, and we'll do like a Ledger review and discussion and why it works. The problem with putting your private keys on a thumb drive is that they're exposed. This other guy I was talking to said, well, I encrypted my file and then I put it on my thumb drive. And I thought, well, that's great, man. Good for you. Even if you encrypt your files and put it on your thumb drive, that's the thing is, if you have a Trojan, if you have like a malicious Trojan on your computer and you're encrypting your files on that computer, they just watched you encrypt it. That's it. They're as good as gone. If you're using a private thumb drive with your encrypted files and it gets lost, that's it. You're done. That's it. Bye-bye. So the backup phrase, really helpful. The backup phrase, really helpful. Hiding your private keys, really helpful stuff. Really good stuff. Hey, thanks, man. Oh, it's not going to read it. KFN, will you take part in Brad's AMA on the 18th? Take part? Am I invited? Did they invite me? Hey, Kung Fu! Kung Fu, we need you to come down. Hey, come on down to Jan Levon's Emporium of Gift. What are you doing, Kung Fu? Let's hit some hotkeys. Thank you guys so much. Jalen, I appreciate it. Rob Lee, again, I really appreciate it. Let's hit that investor blast off. Man, the hotkeys are sticky today. Let's try again. Investor blast off. Woo! Yesterday we did talk a little bit about the SBI and the NRI remit, and that was one of the bigger things. I thought, we can talk about that again today. Actually, I'll see if I can find it really quick, and I'll put you guys in the clouds for a second. Another interview with Brad. Woo! Investor blast off. I bought my Ledger Nano through the site yesterday. Thank you so much, man. Very cool. Yeah, they're 30% off right now, so 30% off till the end of the year. That's good stuff. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Will you commit to performing a happy dance on live stream when Moon say $20? Bro, Eddie Money. if Eddie Money, if you want to see me dance, XRP hits $20, I'll be dancing, bro. When XRP hits $20, wait. wait. Just wait. When XRP hits $20, I will be dancing. That's for sure. I'll do a happy dance for you, bro. Max is trolling Ticket. What's up, Ticket? Thanks for joining, man. Yeah, we just talked about your Xpool question. We were just talking about that and R3 and private databases. Basically, the long story short is that we recognize that you can build something on top of XRP, and you could maybe have like a specific function away from the ledger, but inside the ledger, I think that even, sure, there's going to be lagoon markets and there'll be a slight price arbitrage opportunity, but I don't think it'll be that massive. I don't think that we get left behind, especially because some of the exchanges for the corridors of RippleNet are actually the same exchanges that we're using. Good stuff. Good questions. So yesterday we talked about the SBI and the NRI in Yahoo Finance, and that was a cool article talking about if you're going to send money home this year, if you're sending money home, they're talking about how the SBI remit service is preferred. Let me see if I can find this. I had it yesterday. I don't know where it is. Either way, the article talks about how Yahoo Finance, it's a Yahoo Finance article about SBI and the non-resident Indians sending money. One of the biggest markets of people sending money back and forth during Christmas. And it was talking about how efficient and fast and cost-effective it is. They didn't mention XRP at all. There's no mention of XRP. They're just talking about how SBI Remit is one of the best ways to send money. And I thought, you know what, this is great because it shows, one, that we're not going to always have these like clear-cut big headlines that are like XRP the best. XRP used for everything. We're not going to have those clear-cut headlines. That's not going to be how it works. We're going to start to see, more solutions and more utility coming through these ledgers, but they're not going to be necessarily announced as such, I think. So I'm trying to find this article again. I can't even find it right now. The SBI article, though, from Yahoo Finance, talking about what is really the preferred remit solution, and they're just talking about their own products. And that's what I think we're going to expect to see more of, is people marketing their own products that use the XRP ledger to become a standard of business, become more efficient, to become preferred exchange partners or preferred remittance service providers. That's the good stuff right there. And that article, I keep trying to find it because I want to pull it back up, but it's not coming up. It's not coming up. Oh, here it is. Never mind. I found it. Never mind. Here we go.
Thank you, and have no reason not to.
I like hotkeys. SBI, NRI customers, this is the easiest way to remit money to India. This came out, again, just about a week ago. It's on Yahoo Finance, and it's talking about the SBI Remit, which we know SBI Remit is part of the XRP ecosystem. If we go to Ripple Labs, you see SBI on there. We know that. We've talked about that. 6 months old news talking about the SBI Remit. It's right there. Talking about them using these services. Again, this is an article on Yahoo Finance. This is not an article on Clickbait Coin Telegraph. This is not an article on Ethereum World Jerkoff News. This is not an article on, I just made a WordPress site yesterday and decided to put up an article about XRP becoming the next, tulip. This is not any of those articles. This is not any of those sites. This is Yahoo Finance talking about SBI NRI customers, the easiest way to remit money to India. And this is what we're talking about. This is how it's going to go. It's not going to be an article on Yahoo Finance that says buy XRP. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is people are going to start using it, and that's going to be big. That's going to be really, really big. So thinking about all these partners that SBI has, that they're not really partners, but they're services, consumers. Oh, thank you so much. John Larius, I appreciate it. It's a good question. I'm waiting for the sound to come through. Bling!
Are Uphold prices pegged to Tether or the dollar? Tell me more.
Ooh, thank you so much. I like the tell me more. What's up, John? Thank you so much for the support, man. And great question. Are Uphold prices pegged to Tether or the dollar? And the Uphold just recently decided to make their own stable coin. In fact, that's one of the links in the description was if you wanted to deposit with Uphold, they'll give you, I think, like $10 of their stable coin just for signing up with Uphold and depositing. Uphold just launched their app too. And the Uphold app is up now. Let's see. Let's find this Uphold mobile. They just emailed me yesterday. They said their Uphold mobile app has arrived 2 days ago. So they have their own stablecoin that they've launched basically, and the thing about their stablecoin is that they're trying to be 100% transparent. They said so they have, and you know what? I know if Rob Lee's still in the room, whenever this first was announced, like 6 months ago, Rob and Uphold were having a conversation about how their stablecoin works and how it's going to be, if it's even effective for them to do that. And I think there was a conversation about how legitimate it was for them to have their own stablecoin. And I'm not sure what the discussion arrived at. I'm not sure where the discussion ended or what the decision was by the community as to how much we support their stablecoin. But I believe Uphold has their own stablecoin. So they have this is their reserve status for their Uphold stablecoin, the actual assets and reserves. So they said they want to be transparent with their reserves and with their creation of their ecosystem. I don't really see their stablecoin on here, but I'm pretty sure that originally I remember them suggesting that they were going to make their own. Do you guys know about this? Can anybody chime in and tell me if I am completely wrong? I'm pretty sure that they decided to make their own stablecoin. Dun 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 bum 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 bum. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining. That's a great question, John Larius. Are Uphold prices pegged to Tether or the dollar? Tell me more. The Uphold prices are not. I don't think they're pegged to either of those. I don't think they're pegged to Tether. They might be pegged to the U.S. dollar, and then the U.S. dollar they might have like their own U.S. dollar stablecoin that they're working on, and they're pairing it to that. That's a lot of things to think about. That's a good question. So the Uphold app is out. That's what we're looking at too. The Uphold app just popped off. It's available. Kung Fu, if Binance only allows for 100, this is such a good question. I saw this the other day. This is such a good question. This is really, really important to think about. If Binance only allows for 100 BTC withdrawal, what if Bitcoin goes down to $1 and XRP goes to 589? Could that mean only withdrawal of $100 worth? That's a great question. And what he's talking about is the withdrawal limits in Binance, and if you can expect if the price of Bitcoin goes to $1, could we get trapped because there's a 100 BTC withdrawal limit? I'm thinking that if that happened, that they might just change the withdrawal structure. They might just change the withdrawal tier to be something else. Like 100 Bitcoin withdrawal right now is a pretty good amount of money. So maybe they would just change it to be reflective of that similar dollar amount, but in a different representation of a token. Good question. I hope they wouldn't do that. I don't think that I don't think they have some plan to do anything like that. Yo, King Fu, have you heard about American Express using XRapid? I heard that they announced that their testing went really well. And that's what I think a lot of people are kind of back and forth on is like, how much are they actually testing? How much are they actually testing or how much are they using it? And that's a really interesting thing to think about. Yeah, here it is. The universal dollar. That's what it's called. Thanks so much for the patience on this. The universal dollar stablecoin announced by Uphold, Cred, and Brave. So if you're asking about that stablecoin, what it's pegged to on Uphold, The Uphold created a universal protocol alliance. It's formed by Uphold, Cred, Brave, Blockchain, and Berkeley FG Capital. It was announced October 9th during the San Francisco Blockchain Week, the launch of a new stablecoin based on the US dollar. So it's based on the US dollar, but it is a separate coin. It's a separate stablecoin called the Universal Dollar. In this initiative, the asset is to present basically inside the Uphold platform, and it offers trade pairs to 30 currencies, 30 fiat currencies, commodities, and crypto. So that's pretty big. So again, looking at their kind of pushing into the exchange and the banking corridor right there, the Uphold Universal Protocol Alliance is their stable dollar based off the US dollar, but it's, again, its own representative token. It offers trading pairs to 30 fiats, commodities, and cryptocurrencies. That's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting stuff there. So a stablecoin is a cryptocurrency that can be supported by legal tender currencies, commodities, and other cryptocurrencies as well. So I thought about this for a minute. People were asking back in the day, like, how to make a stablecoin work. And if you think about it, a stablecoin is very paradoxical, right? Because in order for it to, how does it achieve stability? In fact, how does the US dollar achieve stability? It has the inflationary quality. They just keep printing it. They print it above, they print it like a specific amount to keep, a somewhat controlled economic function for consumerism, because you don't want to have, if it's deflationary, then what's the incentive to spend it, right? And so there's an economic model here that we've been running on for years, and I think that we're starting to address this conversation of possibly challenging and refining our economic model. This is something I was watching Gary Vee talk about yesterday, talking about, like, we got to stop pretending like everything's just fine. We got to stop pretending like buying ourselves out of the 2008 collapse was okay, because it wasn't. It's not okay. And how do you make a stable coin? How do you make a coin that's stable all the time? How does that work? It doesn't work. There's no sound economic model behind it, unless that stablecoin is an amalgamation of different assets. Unless it's like a kind of like an index fund of coins, an index fund of dollars, a stable dollar based off of the index of other assets. That would make sense to me. And then also understanding that in order for it to be stabilized, someone would have to be continually managing and buying and selling the fixed assets of this stable coin. That would be really important. And in fact, you would probably expect bots to be doing that. It probably would go down to AI. Artificial intelligence would probably be the only thing that could take in enough data to actually create a stable coin that seemed to be effective enough to pull from different specific assets and metrics that would then create a resemblance of stability, but still let the free market run and function. That, in my mind, seems like that would be how it goes. So this is big stuff. How do you create a stable coin? What's it built from? How are they stabilizing it? Good question, man. Really good question. And you got us over here to look at this Universal Protocol Alliance too. Thanks, man. John, thank you so much, dude. What up? We can't hear when the auto read happens. No, you can't. You can't hear when the auto read happens? Are you sure? It sounds like it's coming through the speaker, and I put the microphone to it. It sounds like it would work. It would work. Anybody else think the SEC guy looks like Michael J. Fox? I don't even know. Which one? How much longer till Tether implodes? Max, great question, man. We're not supposed to talk about Tether. Let's pretend like it's not happening. Let's pretend like it's not there. Tether probably could. Tether could just almost maintain, I think, its facade until people forget about it. Tether might be able to maintain its facade until we don't even talk about it anymore and no one uses it, because we have the Universal Protocol Alliance stablecoin, or the stablecoin by Circle that just came out, the one that got paired to Binance, the one that went into Binance and was paired to XRP today, the USDC from Circle and Square. Big stuff. And if you guys don't know about the Cash App that allows people to buy or sell Bitcoin, very consumer friendly, very low barrier of entry. Most anyone that has an iPhone has the Cash App. If you have an iPhone, you probably have the Cash App, made by Square, Circle, the people who made the USDC stable coin. It's the same people, guys. So if you guys don't have the Cash App, I actually have a link in my description where you can get free $5 in the Cash App just by signing up. So free $5 in the Cash App just for signing up. We also have a free stock if you sign up through Robinhood in the description. Also, if you guys want to join Uphold and put any deposits in there, then you get, I think, $10 of their universal stablecoin just for depositing money. Steven Chip says he agrees. The whole stablecoin doesn't make sense. If you look at economic models, if you look at economic models, the reality is that it doesn't make sense. Lakeside Crypto, what's up? Sounds like you just subscribed the SDR. That's true. That does sound like I described the SDR, except for the SDR. I think the difference would be that we would be opening up stable coins would become like multiple possibilities of versions of SDRs that people could kind of back on their own. So like, you're like, ah, man, I was going to back the Circle stablecoin until they came out publicly supporting, whaling. Now I'm anti-Circle stablecoin because I'm against whaling. Now I'm going Uphold stable. I mean, I think that opening it up to take it away from the SDR is like fixed, like no choice. So possibly it's very similar. You're right. I did describe the SDR, but we'll have a possibility of choices, I think. Yes, totally. Market capital, BTC on NASDAQ. Kung Fu, you should do an ASMR crypto video. It's where you whisper on high volume in microphone, supposed to relax the listeners. Let's do it. Ladyboy, XVL Glover. Let's do a ASMR for the rest of the day. Thank you guys for joining Crypto Live with Kung Fu. How are you today? I'm just going to listen to Green Bag. What's that guy? I always like one of my favorite voices is the guy from Reservoir Dogs, when he's like, and welcome to 70s sounds of the 70s. We got to listen to Green Bag. And I can't remember what he says. That guy gets me going. Good morning. When is Robinhood going to offer XRP? Seems like they would be all over it. They do offer Doge. No. Sounds like NPR. Welcome to NPR Crypto with Kung Fu. That's right, guys. I don't know if you knew the long focus here was to get picked up by NPR. I'm hoping to get picked up by NPR as the crypto voice of the world. What is up? Maybe CNN, Fox News. Fox News with I don't think Fox News likes the ASMR discussion. I don't think they like that. I think they like it to be like frantic and hectic. Just like they like it. But yeah, maybe Fox News will pick me up with my ASMR voice. Did you see XRP hit the 25-cent mark? Do you see XRP hitting the 25-cent mark? When do you think it'll spike again? These are very big questions, very generalized questions. When will I see it drop further? I would say when value leaves the XRP ledger or when value leaves the Bitcoin ledger would be how the price would drop. How soon or when do you think it will spike again? I think it'll spike again when we have a new interest in the market, possibly a new wave of investors as we push into higher prices, or we push into higher utility, or maybe a greater degree of adoption. Usually mainstream adoption usually comes through education, and educating the market as to why these are working probably is not going to fall into the category of XRP. It'll probably fall into the category of just like the article we just looked at, SBI,